Hey everybody, this is Kevin, a CPA that does financial planning, and today I want to talk about paying no tax. So this is somewhat tongue-in-cheek because tax avoidance is absolutely a strategy that we believe in. But its tax season has begun in 2022 for 21 taxes, and once again, I'm reminded about the visceral gut reaction about saying, "I do not want to pay taxes. How come I have to pay taxes on this?" And there are some again legitimate ways, but I'd like to talk to you about 5 ways I do not recommend you try to avoid taxes. Okay, so what is the mission of most people that we work with? At least I think the mission is to increase your wealth, right? That's usually why people come to a wealth manager or financial planner, because they want to increase their wealth. If your sole mission is to not pay taxes, there are ways to do that. I just don't think some of them are good ways. And I want to make the point at the end of, that economic substance of any transaction, job, or whatever, I think is the most important thing. So that's my belief. So the first way to avoid paying taxes is to earn no money. So if you earn no money, you can absolutely avoid taxes. 10, 20 years from now, you will have avoided a lot of tax. So just don't get a job, don't invest in anything, just don't get any money. Move in with the parents or whoever will have you. That's a tax avoidance strategy that absolutely works. The second thing is if you're a single person and you're paying too much tax, you could get married. Now, the thing is, you have to not only marry somebody that you kind of like, but you also have to find someone that has no income. Because you see, the married filing jointly tax brackets are wider. And so if you make money, you could pay less tax by getting married. Again, is that a good strategy? I'm not going to comment on that one. I'm married, so I'm not commenting on that one. Another thing you could do is lose money in a business. So start a new business. Go out there and lose $50,000 a year, every year in business, and you can offset your other income and pay less tax. Yeah, I guess the only problem is that you actually have to lose the money unless you want to, lie about it and evade tax. And that is one of the other strategies, is just to have tax evasion and not pay the government, what the amount that your tax return says they owe. Just lie. I mean, that's another strategy. Now, it's not one that we recommend, by the way. We do not recommend lying or evading taxes. Many times bad things can happen. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but eventually someone will knock on your door. Buying life insurance as a way to pay less tax. That can work. We have a whole podcast on buying life insurance as an investment and mixing those two things together. The only problem with buying life insurance is that many times insurance fees, we do want life insurance, but the extra insurance fees that you might have might supersede the amount of tax saving that you have. So again, you're avoiding taxation, but you're paying other fees. And at the end of the day, are any of these things going to get you more wealthy? Well, earning no money, I don't think that gets you more wealthy. Getting married, I'm not going to touch that one. Probably if you marry the right person, it will be a good strategy. Losing money in a business, I don't see how that makes you more wealthy. But again, maybe there's some math there that maybe a new math has come out on losing money to be able to increase your wealth. Buying life insurance, evading taxes. I don't think these are good strategies. So what is the mission? What should we replace this? Hey, I don't want to pay taxes. This mantra that we have during tax time. Well, I think the mission is to build wealth, and the tax tail should not wag the dog. So when the tax tail wags the dog, that means all you're trying to do is avoiding taxes. And if there's no economic substance there, that's not smart. So what would you prefer to do? Get a 10% return and pay 45% tax. We can even make it a 20% return. But let's start with a 10% return, okay? I have $1 million. Make it $1 million. We'll make it a lot of money. I invest and I make $100,000. Okay, so I just made $100,000. That's probably something I'm going to share with my friends. Hey, I made $100,000 last year. My money made $100,000. I didn't even lift a finger. Then when tax time comes, your tax person tells you you owe $45,000, 45%. And you're like, I'm an idiot. Why didn't I know about this tax? And yes, there are probably better ways, not to pay 45% on an investment. That might be something to consider next time, but you still have $55,000. So you walk away with $55,000. Now, if you would have known that before the tax time, you probably would be happy to get $55,000. Now, the other person invests $1 million and earns a 2%. So they earn $20,000, but they avoid tax. They only pay 10%. So they walk away with $18,000 and they are like, I screwed the tax man. Yes, I rule. Now, would you rather have the $55,000 or the $18,000? Now, all other things being equal, that's the thing with investing, is that probably you had to take a lot more risk to get that $55,000. So I'm not talking about risk here. I'm only talking about taxes. But 55 is greater than 18. So again, I would just ask you to think about when you're going to make money that really it's about how much do you get to keep after the taxes. That's really more the key for me. Because a number of times during tax season, I will tell people, and I say this tongue in cheek, but I also say it every time to try to make a point and remind ourselves that I would love to get that amount of income that you got, and I'll be happy to pay your tax. I tell that to people all the time. I don't say it in a manipulative way. All I'm trying to say is that you just made a ton of money. And now that it comes to pay the tax, it really does hurt. Now, for people that expect to pay that amount of tax, it seems to be less painful. So maybe that's really the key, is to understand before you get to tax time about how much tax you're going to have to pay. So everyone, thank you so much. The mission is building wealth. It's not just not paying tax. Thanks so much.